Day 2 of the Undisputed multiplayer beta test was so much better than day 1. There were significant gameplay improvements as well as the server improvements, which meant we could actually play multiple games in the 3-hour window. Welcome to gaming and welcome to another Undisputed boxing video update. Now let's get into my glowing review of day 2. So the day started off with Steel City Interactive letting us know that they had made some changes to the gameplay based on player feedback from day 1. They rebalanced the stamina, the damage rate, and the health recovery between rounds. This led to much better gameplay in the online beta. Multiple users had seen knockouts within the first hour of gameplay. I myself managed to get a knockout. Ooh! Knockdown! Let's go! Yes! Saved by the bell. Let's go! And a few other knockdowns as well. Here we go. Knockdown! Get in there! Come on! Can he get up? He just got up. And speaking on that front, I played much better on night 2. Night 1 I didn't get any wins, but on night 2 I managed to pretty much go the whole night undefeated, bar a couple of games. But we did still have some disconnect issues that actually stopped some of the fights early that I was going to lose. So yeah, still some issues in there, but generally and overall a real big improvement on day 1. We were seeing damage applied much quicker, like the cuts on the brow and the bruising on the face. And as we said, more knockouts than on day 1. Now of course this isn't perfect, nothing really ever is, but this increased damage rate was nearer what I would have expected from Undisputed going into the game. It'll maybe need a little bit more tweaking, and I wonder if they may tweak it for night 3 tonight. But overall, it was so much more enjoyable to play. Now I said in my day 1 review that I had enjoyed, once I could finally actually get some games, I had enjoyed learning how to maneuver in this game, and that continued into day 2 for me. I was starting to put together some really interesting combinations, ducking underneath punches and getting counter shots in. It was such a joy to play. Now there is maybe still some issues with the punches. There's a lot of times where both boxers are just going toe to toe and there's just a volley of punches going in like this, and it's maybe not wholly realistic. But that's exactly why this is a beta and we're leading up to an actual early access. This game isn't final. Matchmaking was pretty solid all night long. As I say, there were a few dropouts. Also, when they sent out the second wave of invites, there was a slight matchmaking extension to the queue, but it wasn't as bad as night 1 where we sat for 40 minutes in between games. It was more like a minute or 2. A few disconnects that happened were unfortunate, but again, this is why they're testing the multiplayer on us as a beta, so they can get valuable information to make sure these things work smoothly in early access and their full release. So managing to get some knockdowns this time and knockouts, it was interesting to see how they happen in the game and what they look like. I actually didn't get knocked down or out myself, so I didn't see the mechanic of how to get back up, but I'm told that there's kind of 2 bars on either side, and I'm not sure. I think you may have to use the analog sticks to try and get them in balanced in like a certain zone, but I'm not entirely sure. There was next to no graphical glitches that I noticed on the character screen this time. Everything just ran a lot smoother. That includes the frame rate as well. We had issues with the frame rate dropping on day 1, but on day 2 it was pretty stable, around 50 frames per second, which of course isn't ideal and not what we're going to want to use when the game fully launches. But it was better than night 1 where it was dipping down below 30 sometimes. I've seen mixed reports from different users about them running it okay on like a decent spec PC, but then some of my viewers that tried the game who have better spec PCs than me let me know that their game was running pretty much the same as mine. And some of the good news as well, as when we were playing on my live stream last night, the Undisputed account dropped in and let me know that they'd sent me some codes on Twitter DMs and I got to give away 5 codes to some of my lucky viewers. So maybe we'll get more codes tonight, I don't know. It was a really random thing that they just dropped in the chat and said check Twitter DMs. But yeah, I got to give away 5 codes for the beta, which was really good for me as my channel, and nice that Steel City Interactive wanted to support my channel while I supported their game. So you never know, there might be more things tonight. Because we got more full rounds and more full matches on day 2, it was a chance for me to experiment with the 4 different boxes that are available in the multiplayer beta test. Now I've been mainly using Gatti, but I decided to start experimenting with Mickey Ward. Now at first I was struggling with him, but when you get used to the different boxes and how they box and their style, you do start to develop different rhythms for them. For instance, Terry Harper seemed to have quite a good reach, and Gatti gets cut quicker due to one of his traits, so that was something to watch out for. There was one of the matches that I was in, I got a cut on the brow and the ref kept warning me about it, and I wonder if that's really going to come into effect where the ref may stop the fight. So yeah, each boxer is going to have different traits. Unfortunately, the female boxers don't seem to have traits right now in the multiplayer beta test, but I'm sure different ones will do in the full launch. Now my best fight of the night was up against one of my viewers. We had an absolute classic. He was Mickey Ward and I was Gatti. We went all the way to the 8th round and it looked like he was going to get the win. Unfortunately, the game did drop out on the 8th round, but it was such an amazing fight. Even my viewers were commenting on it being so close to the real life Gatti versus Ward. And that's the enjoyment that I was having last night. Even in a defeated match, I was just having an absolute blast trying to figure out how to get the advantage on my opponent and how to get back in the fight. So we're looking ahead to night 3 now, the final night of the multiplayer test for Undisputed, and I can't wait to get back in. Night 2 left me feeling like I just want to play the game again. I was so disappointed when the time was up, but of course this multiplayer beta test is only in 3-hour installments. So it's going to be hard at the end of tonight when the time's up, because we're going to have to think, oh, we don't know when we're going to get to play this game again. I've got my fingers crossed that they may announce when early access is coming at the end of the beta tonight, but that is just a big hope of mine. I'm not sure it's going to actually happen. So I want to know if you played the Undisputed multiplayer beta test on day 2. What did you think of the gameplay? Did you think it was improved with the rebalancing that they did to the stamina, the damage rate and the health regeneration? Or did you think that it made the game worse? What would you like to see change for night 3? And are you more hyped for the release of Undisputed after trying night 2? Let me know in the comments below what you're thinking, and make sure to subscribe to Welcome to Gaming to see me live stream Undisputed multiplayer beta test day 3 tonight. I'd love to have you in the chat whilst we play. I just can't wait to play it again.